I'm a leadership teacher. Now, I have been at this for 15 years. And I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm simply saying I have made my life's mission to study what makes great leaders. My life's mission is to understand what makes world-class companies. So the ideas I'm going to share in our fun session over the next few hours, they might seem strange to you. They might seem different from you. But how can you build a better team or a better life or a better business if you're not open to new ideas? Would anyone agree with me on that? So embrace the ideas. Because here's what happens. We don't like to change. Human beings like to live within this safe harbor of the known. And when we leave our comfort zone in our work and go out into this unknown area, like business right now, we get scared. Anyone agree with me? So what do? Rather than taking the new project, rather than showing initiative, rather than innovating, rather than reading a new book, rather than meeting a new customer, we go back to our safe comfort of the known. I guess what I'm suggesting to you is, if you stay within that comfort of the known, if you don't innovate, if you're not open to new ideas, nothing fails like success. And a competitor who will have a better way of doing business, a better way of bringing value, will knock you off your game. Second thing to remember, if you live in this safe harbor of the known, if you're not always trying to get better and learning as a human being, you will get to your last hour and you will not be very different from who you are in this room today. And that would be a tragedy not only for your organization, not only for your family, but for the world. Because the world is going through incredible disruption right now. Cherished organizations, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, have fallen apart. Everything is changing. The world needs you to be a leader without a title. So be open to the ideas. The ideas I'm going to share with you come from successful companies. They come from successful people. You might not like my ideas. That's okay. Try the ideas. Does that make sense? So you grow when you embrace new ideas, even though they feel uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Fantastic. Another key point as we get started. Be open, because today could be a pivotal day. Today could be the first day of a new way of living. How do you lead without a title? I want to be really practical for you again. 5 simple things. In English, the acronym is IMAGE. IMAGE. If you were to summarize what makes a great leader without a title in business and life, 5 things. This is the formula for leadership. Share it with your team. Coach your team on this. IMAGE. The I. The I means innovate. Tell everyone you work with to fall in love with innovation. What does innovation mean? I'm a simple guy. Innovation is simply make everything you touch better than you found it. Make everything you touch better than you found it. Say to your team, leave every person you meet today better than you found that. Innovation. Another way to put it, never stop improving. Never stop improving. Another way to put it, don't be afraid to disrupt what's been working in the past, because there can be no progress without disrupting the way you used to do things yesterday. Does that make sense? If you were so in love with the way you worked yesterday, if you say, no, this is the way I do it. I'm not open to your ideas today, Robin. This would never work. Then how can you make progress and innovate? So image, number 1, never stop improving. Always be innovating. If you look at Apple, great example of innovation. They released the iPod. Already, by the time it comes to market, did you know the iPod is obsolete? Why? Because they're already figuring out where they're going to be 3 years from now on the iPod. Number 2, image. M, be a merchant of wow. I challenge you with great affection in your work to see yourself as someone who sells wow. Be a merchant of wow. Be so good at what you do that people can't take their eyes off of you. I got a bit more level, please, Alex. Be so good at what you do that people can't take their eyes off of you. Be so good at what you do that people can't take their eyes off of you. So, image, innovate. The second way to show leadership without a title is be a merchant of wow. Be so good at what you do that you can't take their eyes off you. How do you do that? You go to training. You read books on your skill. You spend time in reflection, asking yourself, how can you be better? You find a mentor, maybe someone who's been successful in your industry, and once every 2 or 3 months you have a cup of your wonderful coffee with that mentor. But each day, while most people are being distracted, you are focusing on your craft. And please don't say you need to be an artist to be a craft. I take my work as a speaker and author, I see it like a craft. Just like he even said, he goes, he's a craftsman. I was reading the latest issue of Rolling Stone magazine. Shakira is on the front cover. Fascinating article on Shakira. And I love to read Rolling Stone magazine because I find musicians are artists, and they're very interesting and innovative in terms of the way they think and the way they live. There was a little article on there on Roger Daltrey. Remember Roger Daltrey? He was lead singer of a band called The Who. He said something very interesting. Roger Daltrey was asked, why are you still out there at your age? He's in his 60s. Why are you out there still on the stage, still singing? He said, I could be home watching TV, but I think it's really important I'm out there keeping my machine well-oiled. And so to be a merchant of wow, see your work, whether you're the receptionist, whatever you do in the company, it's a craft. Work on it, sculpt it. It'll be one. How many people want to be happier? Really, you want to be happier? I promise you, when you go from, and I know you're not average, but if you go from average to excellence and you start to get passionate about your work, where you are, you start to feel so good about yourself. Your self-respect improves. You have more energy. Why? Because the deepest part of you is seeing that you are using your potential for a good cause. And here's what happens. You'll get promoted. Your peers will respect you. Good things will happen to you. Good things happen to people who do good things. As my mom used to say, the cream always rises to the top. Innovate. Be a merchant of wow. Third thing, to lead without a title. Be authentic. Be authentic. In this acronym. What does being authentic mean? Most people go to work every day and pretend that they're someone that they're not. They wear a mask over themselves. They talk like this. They say, hello, how are you doing? It's great to be here in this business. What are the strategic implications of the merger and the acquisition? Can I have a look at the quarterly results? I would like you to look at the innovation strategy of the metrics against the number quarterly configurations. Am I right? And we go home to be human. We go home to take down the mask and talk like this. And to smile. We wouldn't want to smile at the office. They might think I like them. You see, the old model of leadership comes from an old model of being. Why would you try to operate under an old model of leadership in a completely new economy? And the new model of leadership is not command and control, it's connect, it's collaborate, it's roll up your sleeves and we're a team, and leading without title. And again, I want to be really clear. I'm not saying you don't give structure and titles. Someone ultimately needs to have responsibility and set the direction. But on this point about authenticity, why would you want to go to work every day and to pretend you're someone that you're not? Just because deep down inside you're afraid not to fit in, or you're afraid of not being liked. because there will never be a better you than you. And actually, when you are authentic with your team and your customers, they will fall in love with you. But if you go to work every day and you have this mask, then people are not going to be able to relate to you. And if they can't relate to you, they will not give you their best. So be authentic. Talk with your authentic voice. Live by your values. Be yourself when you go to work every day. G. Fourth point. Guts. Guts. In other words, it's not possible to win in business without outfailing the competition. Michael Dell said it really well. He said, if you want to be more successful, accelerate your rate of failure. If you want to be more successful, even as a person, as a business person, accelerate your rate of failure. It's not possible to progress whether building a better team, building a better business model, being more excellent, learning to be a better communicator. You cannot improve without failing. But failure is the price of greatness. Failure is the price of ambition. Most successful businesses and every successful business person has failed a lot more than the people around them. In other words, I'm suggesting to you that the greatest risk you can take is not taking risks. And the only failure is the failure to try. To me, you want to see a failure? That would never work. This won't work. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to take any risks. I'm not going to make anything better. I'm scared, so I'm going to live in my comfort zone. But as you leave your comfort zone, create more value. Wow your customers. Innovate. Become more passionate. Read new books. Try new techniques. What's going to happen? You're going to make some mistakes. Robert Louis Stevenson said, only those who are willing to go too far can know how far they can go. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult.